Hi, I'm Tristan. I'm 13 years old. I'm curious, I'm passionate, and I'm sure you are too. Join me on a quest to dig deep and find out new things. Welcome to Youth Voices. Good evening. Welcome to my program. This is your host, Tristan Pang, on Planet FM 104.6. Youth Voices. Good to have your company on a Saturday evening. In today's show, we will chat with a successful entrepreneur, Toby Carr. So here we go. Let's talk. I met today's featured guest a few months ago. I retweeted his saying, "Show the world that age is just a number," end quote. It's very impressive, and I agree with him. People always tell me that I blow their minds, but this time I'll say to my featured guest, you really blew my mind. He is Toby Carr, and is probably the youngest CEO of a multi-million-dollar company in New Zealand, if not in the world. He set up his company when he was 14, and now, at 16 years of age, he is a nationally recognized teen entrepreneur, investor, and business leader. He is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of DexTech Limited, a technology company founded in 2013 in New Zealand. DexTech stands to be one of the fastest growing and largest youth-led corporations in Australasia. Toby is widely considered a leading authority in youth entrepreneurship, business, growth, and technology. Toby has extensive experiences and knowledge in all electronic products, especially the latest smart devices. In the last couple of years, he has matched his knowledge with developing, producing, and retailing this product. In more recent times, Toby has been involved in supplying some of the largest and most innovative companies throughout the United States, Malaysia, Australia, and New Zealand. 2014 proved a sensational successful year in business, with bigger things planned in 2015, including launching his international offices. In late 2014, Toby headed the launch of DexTech Pro Tech's parent company, DexTech Limited. Toby is known for his sheer drive, fierce business, and entrepreneurial nature. I'm very pleased to have him as my guest today. Hello, Toby. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Tristan. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you started your company when you were only 14. That's really amazing. Is doing business your dream from very young? And when did you realize you liked doing business? And are your parents in business?
That's a great question, actually. The general feeling I get from most entrepreneurs is that all it takes is a spark, really, for them to realize that they're made to be entrepreneurs, or that's kind of where their passion should be. And this particular spark kind of happened for me when I was 14 years old. And I've always loved starting things, creating things from scratch and all that kind of thing. But, I mean, at 14 years old, it was really when I got the interest in business. And it was the first time I saw a passion in business. And before that, I actually hadn't had any business experience of any sort. Neither of my parents own their own business. My father's quite involved in business, however. But, that's a little bit of my background. At 14 years old, I was still in school, and I kind of just browsed the web, went on things like Business Insider, those kind of websites, and just kind of got a background knowledge about business.
That's interesting. So, for myself, I think that business is an adult's world, and it's very complicated. Have you ever faced any difficulties, and did anyone help you, guide you in business?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It's a very adult-dominated area. It's kind of an industry where adults kind of rule the roost, mainly because of just the skills and kind of the acumen that business runs with. Definitely, difficulties and challenges are something that go hand in hand with business. You learn better ways to tackle them as you go through. You get better at tackling them, and you eventually just learn that the challenges in business are part of your life. They're not something that's bad. The challenges in the business, and I mean, it's applicable to all parts of life, really, I think. And that is that the challenges are just a day-to-day thing. Each day you wake up with a new challenge, a harder, easier kind of challenge. And I mean, that's just kind of the way I view it, is that you will have these difficulties, but it's kind of just how you handle them. And definitely, does anyone help you going in your business? I have non-stop people helping me. And I mean, I've learned an importance of mentors and people who have been there and done that. They've kind of, they know what you're doing. They've been there. They've kind of in the industry for like 20 plus years, and they've got a passion for it. And so, I mean, I love finding people like that who have that knowledge, which you kind of learn to respect. And it's great to learn from them.
That's interesting. So, can you tell us more about your business and what is your goal for the business in, say, 1 year, 5 year, and in the future?
Definitely, yep, sure. DexTech is a computers and technology company. So we specialize in hardware, not so much software. We retail a wide range of products, including smartphones, laptops, tablets, networking products, targeted towards the consumer and business market. And so, I mean, some of the brands we carry are Apple, Samsung, HP, Sony, LG, Asus, and Acer. So, I mean, we're kind of an interesting business in the sense we're a very young business, but we're still taking on some of the bigger brands, and especially a harder industry. And, I mean, in the next goals in the next kind of few years, and specifically in the next year, DexTech's online store will have a lot of drive behind it. We're looking to move to the international e-commerce market within the next 3 months as well, which will be after our launch, which is happening very soon. I mean, we're looking, obviously, within the next few years to hit a goal of $100 million revenue, which is a very optimistic goal. But I think, with the way things are going, we're going to be really working towards that. And, I mean, personally, within the next 5 years out, I'd like to see DexTech's international presence hugely advanced with a lot of staff overseas. And, I mean, it would be, a huge drive towards being an international business.
That's amazing. So you're managing so many things and you're still going to school. So how do you juggle between your company and your school and your work and your homework?
It's a great question. It's something I get asked quite often because, I mean, it's a lot to take on in a sense, but I mean, I love it. And it comes down to priorities, really. What you put first, what you value, what you don't value, all those sorts of things. Where, is the school assignment, do I need to do the school assignment before I finish off this thing in business or vice versa? And, I mean, it comes down to overkill time management, managing time you didn't know you had, kind of managing time where it needs to be managed, but you didn't realize it needs to be managed. And simply dedicating your energy to where you see it best used. And, I mean, that really comes down to energy as well. I mean, I can see where I'm not putting energy into something, and I'll either kind of choose, do I need to fix it or not, or is that a priority I need to flip? And, I mean, I have to be careful how I manage school and business commitments. Delegation is kind of key in business and time management for the rest of the tasks. But, however, I don't mind compromising a bit of sleep to do what I love, so often don't end up sleeping too much.
Yeah, that's cool. Tune in next week for the next part of the interview. Let's explore. Now let's listen to Randall Pinkett's inspirational TED Talk about entrepreneurship.
Let me tell you a little bit about the man behind the slick video. When I was a child, I was always entrepreneurial. I sold lemonade, I sold candy, I sold what is now an old relic called compact discs out of my dormitory in college. I even sold my old toys when I got tired of them, I tried to at least, to other kids in my neighborhood. And my mother found out and said, "Boy, you can't sell those toys, I bought them. If you're gonna sell them, at least give me a cut." I told her no. And so she shut my whole operation down. But for my years as a child and my years growing up, that entrepreneurial spirit continued to shine. From Rutgers University to Oxford University to MIT's Media Laboratory, where I learned about technology and innovation. Certainly to my stint on the reality television show The Apprentice, where I won the 4th season, to where I stand today as the chairman and CEO of BCT Partners, a multi-million-dollar management consulting and information technology consulting firm. Across all of that, I have come to appreciate and to embrace what I call, and what others call, the entrepreneur's mindset. So I want to speak to you to the following theme: the entrepreneur's mindset, the essential mindset to be competitive in the 21st century and to believe that the sky is the limit. Now, before I talk about the mindset, there are 2 trends that set the stage for why the mindset is essential. The first is that we are living in tough economic times. You are all aware, no matter what you call it, layoffs, reorganization, restructuring, downsizing, my favorite, right-sizing, no matter what you call it, we are living in tough economic times that we have witnessed over the past few years. We have witnessed the downfall of several multinational, long-standing corporations we never would have dreamed would have fallen to the wayside. Started with Enron, then to Lehman Brothers. Then we saw the demise of AIG. Circuit City declared bankruptcy. And the sum total of all of these trends, certainly we are no longer competing with our neighbors in adjacent cities or adjacent regions, but we are competing truly with our not-so-nearby neighbors in China and India across our entire globe. On top of that, the implication for each and every one of us is that as we are all being asked to do more with less in a globally competitive, if not hyper-competitive environment, is only those who are able to compete by doing more with less that will survive. Those who do not will continue to fall to the wayside. Second trend is technology. From CDs to DVDs to MP3s to PSPs to HD TVs, our world is radically different technologically today than it was, say, 10 years ago. I used to work for AT&T, and back in the days when I worked there, we used to run these futuristic commercials where we would lay out these scenarios for the future. We would say things like, "Have you ever sent a fax from the beach?" This is the actual ad. Or have you ever paid a toll without stopping? Or have you ever read a book from 1,000 miles away? And then it would fade to black, and it would say, "Well, you will." And the company that will bring it to you is AT&T. Now think about it. We have all of that today. You can send a fax from your phone from the beach. You can read a book on the internet from 1,000 miles away. You can pay a toll without stopping. In fact, the only thing that didn't come true is that AT&T brought none of it to you. That's the one thing we miss with all that futuristic thinking.
We thank you, Toby, for the interview on my show today. If you want to listen to my other shows, please go to my website www.questIsFun.org.nz/youthvoices. That is www.quest-is-fun.org.nz/youthvoices. So for today, that's it from me, Tristan Pang. Thank you for listening. I welcome your feedback and your support of the program. Please write to me on Facebook or email me to youthvoicesnz@gmail.com. Don't forget to like Youth Voices with Tristan Pang on Facebook. Good night, world. Join me again next Saturday at 5:20 p.m. to dig deeper, or listen anytime online at planetaudio.org.nz/youthvoices. Youth Voices.